Krixvar had survived 40 years on Nades Prime, a Class 15 Deathworld where the morning dew with sulfuric acid and the gentle breeze could strip flesh from bone. He'd earned his reputation as the galaxy's most dangerous assassin by training in conditions that killed most visitors within minutes. Which is why the Galactic Council was confused when his emergency beacon activated from Earth with a single message. Please arrest me. I surrender. Get me off this planet. Now, in the safety of a maximum security prison transport, Krixvar sat wrapped in 3 thermal blankets, tentacles still trembling. Let me understand, Inspector Zaley said, reviewing her notes. You voluntarily traveled to Earth to eliminate a human diplomat. You're wanted on 47 worlds for successful assassinations. You've never failed a contract. But you're begging to be imprisoned rather than complete this job. Yes, Krixvar whimpered. What exactly happened? The assassin's 3 eyes darted nervously. They welcomed me. They discovered you were an assassin? No. As a tourist. The customs agent said welcome to Earth and asked if I needed restaurant recommendations. Restaurant recommendations. Do you know what humans consider food? Sustenance. Challenges. Krixvar shrieked. I made the mistake of saying I had a strong constitution. They took me to something called a hot wings challenge. The pain, the voluntary pain. They were laughing while consuming chemical weapons. Children were participating. Inspector Zaley made a note. So the food was that was just the beginning. When I mentioned I was from a high-gravity world, they got excited. Wanted to take me bungee jumping. Do you know what that is? They tie elastic cords to themselves and jump off perfectly good bridges. For fun. When I asked why, they said to feel alive. They need to nearly die to feel alive. Surely you could have completed your mission. I tried. I studied my target. Followed him to his gym. Do you know what a gym is, Inspector? It's a torture facility where humans voluntarily damage their muscle fibers so they grow back stronger. They pay money for this. My target was lifting heavy objects until his face turned red and his veins bulged. I thought he was having a medical emergency. He said he was getting gains. Krixvar pulled the blanket tighter. I decided to use poison. Simple, clean. I researched human toxins, found something called fugu. Deadly neurotoxin, perfect. Except. They eat it recreationally. It's a delicacy. Specialist chefs train for years to prepare it wrong enough to cause mild paralysis but not death. They call it thrilling. My target ordered it as an appetizer. Inspector Zaley's stylus stopped moving. He ordered your poison as an appetizer. With extra wasabi. Another voluntary chemical burn. He said the combination of neurotoxin and sinus-clearing pain opened his palate. So you gave up? No, I tried one more approach. Psychological warfare. I revealed myself, told him I was there to kill him. Do you know what he did? What? He got excited. Said it was just like in the movies. Asked if we could have a proper chase scene first because he'd been working on his parkour. Started planning his own assassination. Suggested background music. He offered to show me his kill moves from something called John Wick. Krixvar was rocking back and forth now. And then his family arrived. They tried to protect him? They invited me to dinner. His mother said I looked thin and needed feeding. His children wanted to know if my species had cool alien powers. His spouse asked if I wanted to join their game night after I finished killing him. They were planning activities around the assassination. That's unusual. The youngest offspring, a larva of perhaps 6 years, asked if my poison spines were ticklish and then attempted to find out. I have killed warlords, Inspector. That child terrified me more than any target. Inspector Zaley set down her tablet. So you're willing to accept life imprisonment rather than return to Earth? Life imprisonment on Asteroid Prison 7? Krixvar asked hopefully. The one with no atmosphere and absolute zero temperatures? That's the one. Oh, thank the void. Somewhere safe. He shuddered. Inspector, I've survived the acid storms of Nades. I've hunted in the gravity wells of Crusher 7. I've meditated in the screaming voids of Pal-Lax. He looked her directly in the eyes. Earth has amusement parks. They strap their young into metal death traps that spin and plummet for joy. The young request this. Repeatedly. Point taken. As the transport departed, Inspector Zaley made a note in the official record, prisoner transfer successful. Recommend upgrading Earth from Class 14 to Class 16. Not for environmental hazards, for inhabitants who consider those hazards entertainment. From his cell, Krixvar's voice echoed, they have a sport called free climbing. No safety equipment. On purpose. Inspector Zaley increased their speed. Some planets were too dangerous even for the galaxy's worst criminals.